ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Declassified. This is really the first time we're doing a free trial of it, and we're going to give it a go. So kind of streaming on Facebook, just giving it a chance, giving it a shot. What we're going to talk about tonight is we've got a lot of stuff, and kind of what you see on the screen. The way this is going to work is we're going to kind of share our screen, and we're going to show some paranormal videos. Tonight it is, what do we got? Dinosaurs, unicorns, and ghosts. So evidence, everything we're going to talk about tonight actually does have evidence to go along with it. So that being said, there's going to be videos we can go, and I'll kind of give you an example of this. So you can see what we have right here, the videos, or if we need to, we can even go full screen, and I could kind of zoom in a little bit on what we're looking at here. So everyone in the chat right now, this could be across Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, I believe. So I'm not entirely sure why I can't type. So I'm trying to figure that out, I guess. So we'll take a look at that. And along the way, if you have any comments, feel free to type them down below. But without further ado, I guess let's kind of get into some videos. So one thing, I'm just going to stop sharing this for 1 second. We'll hop over here. This is normally a show that is a Patreon exclusive, but we're kind of doing something a little different. So I kind of want to get the word out there, and we're kind of, it's going to be pre-recorded anyways, right? So might as well do it live, and we might as well do it so people can kind of jump in and comment if they want to. So as far as kind of paranormal and everything that we're looking at tonight, we are going to be kind of doing a free trial. And if you like this show, click the links in the description and you can go and check out the Patreon. And there's other ways you can contribute to the show if you really want to as well. So let's kind of get into it. First video. Now, this is something where it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for a lot of people. So I don't know where everyone kind of stands on unicorns, but unicorns, mythical creature, right? A lot of people wouldn't think that unicorns are something that could potentially be in the world. Depending on where you are and what culture you're in, unicorns could actually be a real relevant thing or a real relevant topic for a lot of people. So kind of that being said, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to go full screen on this. I'm going to break it down, and there's really not a whole lot of audio as far as this video. So we'll go full screen, and we're just going to kind of watch it, and we'll break it down. What you are going to be looking at is a lady. I believe it's a lady. She's filming outside of her office building, and then you kind of see the camera start shaking around a little bit, and kind of right here, I'm going to pause it. So there's a reason I'm kind of pausing it here, is because what I want you all to see is looks like a horse initially, okay? But then once we actually zoom in and kind of take a closer look at the horse's head, you start to see a little bit of a horn, right? Now, this is a stretch. I understand. Like when we talk about Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster, some people don't necessarily fall in the category of believing in any of those, let alone a unicorn. But hear me out on this one. So you start to see a horn right here, and this is in a field, all right? Now, I don't know entirely. This could easily be created, but for the purpose of what we're doing tonight, let's take a look at this video, and full screen again, we'll take a look. So the camera's a little shaky. It starts to walk around. It's starting to eat. Then you kind of see it. It's standing there. It's just kind of chilling. This is from overseas, so this is not something that took place in the United States. But they're pretty much asking you, what do you think about it? So I kind of open that up to the chat. This is where we will start the night, is kind of right here. So what do we think about this? What do we think about mythical creatures and everything that could be in the world? That is pretty much what Declassified is about. Now, here's another thing that you need to know. As we kind of go through these videos and this series, one thing that I really want to stress is we're here to kind of find the truth as much as possible. If we can recreate it, or if we could think of a way to recreate it, then so could someone else very easily. And we want to try to point those things out, because I think that's what's going to make this a credible show. And it's also going to make it even more credible when we can't think of a way or fathom a way to do some of this stuff. Now, in this scenario, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this would be pretty easy to recreate. Literally just go out and kind of put like a horn or something on a horse. I mean, it's not a hard concept to kind of get around, but that's what we're looking at. So unicorns. The question of the night that I throw out there is, do we think unicorns are real? If so, what do you guys think? And just let me know in the comments down below. So unicorns, little out there, right? Mythical creature. Let's take another step. There is something that we talked about on the After Hours show, which is it's really the main staple of everything we're doing. Young Earth theory. Basically, young Earthers, what they are is they believe that the Earth isn't as old as some people say it is. Now, what you're looking at right here, this is a claim, okay? Now, this video did go viral for a while. This is a claim that a dinosaur, I'm going to say pterodactyl, but there's really a scientific name for it, is flying around, okay? Now, this is in the States. So what you're seeing right here is what they're saying is a pterodactyl. I'm going to go full screen on this because I want to show you something else. When you look at this here, I want you to kind of take a look at the wings. Not really like any bird we've ever seen before, but then if you also go and take a look at the head, it's not entirely like a normal head that you would see on a bird. It's kind of, I don't know the best way to say it, but like it's kind of flat. It's not a bird I've ever seen anyways. So one thing we're going to look at is someone captured this on video and they captured it flying around. And kind of that being said, pay attention to how fluid the motion is, okay, versus something that could be a drone or a robotic bird or whatever it could be. That is what we are specifically looking for here. So I'm going to play the video. Let's take a look at it, and then we'll talk about it. Now, there is a little bit of audio here. You see I'm going to say pterodactyl kind of flap its wings. It does a loop. Or somewhat of a loop. Now, I'm going to also throw this out here too. When we're watching this video, there's something that kind of catches my attention. And I have it paused kind of at the right moment. So right here, it kind of breaks its, I want to say, pterodactyl form. So potentially we could be looking at a kite. That is very much in the realm of possibilities. But I guess the big question is, it's kind of the wing flapping that is kind of catching my attention here. So again, I'm going to go back and we'll take a look. Wings are flapping. It's kind of gliding through the air. And that motion right there is a little odd to me. So as we kind of look at this here, it is almost, and the reason I say kite, like the kite kind of got caught up for a second and then kind of continued. But we'll just, again, take a look at the motion. That's the motion that looks a little odd. Okay. So I don't know. I don't even know if this guy runs a little closer. No, I guess he doesn't. Zooms in on it though. Appreciate the zoom in. And kind of as we're looking at this is again a young Earth theory. So if no one really knows what this is, I encourage you to go and look it up. They're called young Earthers or young Earth creationists, I believe is what it's called. Take a look at it. All right. They basically just believe that the world, the Earth, is not as old as everyone says it is. So kind of that's it. I don't know whether you believe in pterodactyls still existing or whatnot, but here's a video that could potentially, either be proof or it could just be a kite. Not really even sure of that. When we take a look at this, here's another video we talked about on the After Hours show. This one was a news video, but I have the raw footage here, and we're going to kind of take a look at that. The raw footage on this one is basically a claim that there is, I think they said Velociraptor. Velociraptor going through a Ring camera, and we're going to kind of take a look at this. So one more time, full screen, and you're looking kind of right here. I can already tell there's going to be loud, annoying audio on this. Okay, so right here is what they're looking at, and then it kind of runs through the camera. All right, and again, now the main topic that we're kind of talking about is that young Earth creationist, believing that dinosaurs could still potentially be on the Earth. I'm looking at it right here, and I have it kind of freeze framed for a second. What I'm looking at could potentially be like a cone on a dog's head. I'm maybe seeing a tail, kind of seeing back legs, kind of seeing front legs. But what is getting people's attention here is a lot of people are saying that it looks like it's running on its back two legs, which you would think maybe Velociraptor, right? I'm thinking dog. I'm leaning dog on this one, but I'm going to go full screen. We'll play the video again. Claim of dinosaurs. I don't know, the way it runs, I mean, it's an odd running shape. I'll play it again. Now, keep in mind, so the other thing we need to be clear about is I didn't just find this video and I'm like, oh, look, a dinosaur. This was in the news, okay? So I didn't take the news clip. I found the raw audio, but this was actually in the news as a velociraptor or as dinosaur ? So I don't know I don't know how much I believe in this one, but it's another clip that we kind of take a look at, and you know, it's. I would like to entertain the idea. Oh, don't mind this ad. I don't need that. So okay. Oh shit, that was really loud. All right, so sound effects from the After Hours show don't really carry over to this. Learning that on it. All right, so here's another one. We talk about some ghosts. There was it Pablo Escobar just recently, like within the last couple of years, got arrested? I don't remember, but this is basically his estate or whoever the biggest gangster cartel person was that got arrested. I'm going to kind of break this down for you a little bit. There was claims that right before this building got demolition, destroyed, whatever, blown up, that there was a ghost that kind of goes across the doorway and kind of goes back. Potentially claims of 2 ghosts. I only really saw 1. So what you're hearing here is a lot of loud noises because this building is literally about to blow up. Okay, but I'm going to kind of go back here, and I want to draw your attention to kind of right here in the building. You're going to see what kind of looks like a figure. Now, again, it's a little blurry, but it kind of looks like a figure walking back and forth. As it's walking back and forth, it's got a very odd motion. Okay, see how it's kind of there? And it goes around. Now I'm going to go in a little bit of a bigger screen on this one. As we go into a full screen, same thing. We're going to be keeping our eyes on kind of this shadow right here. So this shadow, you're going to see it go back and forth. You're going to see it actually, and we'll kind of break it down a little bit more in a second, could potentially go behind this window, could go back and keep moving back and forth as the building is all being demolished. That's the word, demolished. So here we go again. So see how it's kind of moving? Now it's going over here to the left, went behind the window, came back out, and then the building gets demolished. Okay. Now, whether or not that's a ghost, I'm not entirely sure, but there is something going on in the camera here. Let's break it down a little bit. So a couple things that it could be. It could be that my first initial thought, okay, as we kind of see it here, one thing I want you to look at, it kind of zipped across the screen right there. So you're going to see it come in from right here. So I thought initially this could be a smudge on the window, but you're going to see it actually come in behind this window and kind of zip. It's going to go real quickly to the middle of this doorway. Okay, it zips in right there. And then now it's actually kind of moving around. If I freeze frame it right here, this is kind of where I thought that it might have been a smudge kind of on the camera. Because if we're looking, it's going to be right here. If there was a smudge on the glass, that could potentially recreate this. But I'm going to go back. One more thing that we've kind of been doing in other videos is we've actually been slowing it down. So like frame by frame. So if we go over here, let me slow this down real slow, and we'll kind of break this down. I'm going to turn the audio down on that one. You're going to see it's zipping around. And the way this thing is zipping around is not entirely normal. And then it kind of goes up, it goes down, and I do believe it goes to the left and the right again, but it's kind of like a wavy motion. So this is what people are claiming are paranormal spirits, apparitions. This was a big cartel house. Like I said, I think Pablo Escobar, whatever the most recent one that got arrested was, this was his estate or his compound. And right before it gets demolished, people are saying that this is his ghost. And or I guess potentially it could be a spirit from, I'm sure there was plenty of people that were killed in that building. So that's kind of what they're saying it is. Now I'll play it one more time at full speed for everyone, and we'll go full screen on it. And here it is. And you're looking kind of right over here. Now those horns, slightly annoying, I'm sorry. Yep, and then it gets demolished. So I don't know. I really don't know on that one. Again, just like everything we're talking about, I really want to believe that this is something paranormal. But again, there's a lot. And one of the things we need to do is if we can't recreate it, we at least have to think of some ways we could do that. I'm thinking smudge. The motion is kind of what's getting me on this one. So I'm leaning more towards on the side of it could potentially be something that we need to kind of consider and look into a little bit more. Now, as we go to the next one, this is a very similar concept. So what you're going to see, you have a security guard right here behind the desk. This security guard is going to kind of look around, like he's going to notice something before you actually notice something. And what's going to happen is he's going to look around. I think at one point he even stands up, and you're going to see, and it's very, very faint. It's going to kind of be on the right side where this door is, a shadow kind of come into play. Then this security guard is directly going to look at this shadow, and then the shadow is going to kind of move around, and then I do believe it zips off the camera. So let's take a look. Okay, now let me break this down. We kind of just saw it right there. We're looking at this right here. All right, let me go full screen. We are looking at this little dot, and I'm going to go back just a second because you're going to see the camera actually pan. Now, whether the security camera actually can pan like a motion tracking, I don't know. But the shadow starts right here. Now the shadow, you see it start to move. Okay, now it pans back and look at the security guard.
Look at I saw.
Okay, and now I'm sorry that I didn't know that guy was yelling in the camera, but this is the security guard. He saw this, then he went and looked at the actual footage, and the person you just heard talking right there is the security guard.
Look at I saw that shit. I saw that shit.
Yep.
See, I saw that shit.
And see, like right there, so now he's kind of standing there. Crazy thing too is, like, when I watch this on a camera, this looks like something that you would really just pick up on a camera, but he saw something, whether he felt the presence or whether he saw a shadow. He's saying, I saw it, man. And it's so clearly with a phone recording the CCTV.
And I'm like, and then it disappeared over there by the desk. And I'm like, okay. So I looked at the camera. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna calm down. So I wanted to tell the camera, y'all see that shit? Y'all saw that shit, right? I'm telling CHA, did y'all see that? Okay.
And that's it. So, but again, I'm going to go back and we'll play it one more time. Sorry, I was looking at something else for a moment. Kind of crazy. So normally when you think of things that you would catch on a camera, this is really it. So like people go ghost hunting and they expect to see stuff like The Conjuring and all that. It's not always like that. More times than not, it's actually not like that. And so here you have a shadow kind of somewhere in this vicinity. Let me see. Okay, right there. So right here is where the shadow starts. And kind of like I was saying is I'm not entirely sure how this guy saw it because this looks like something that you're only picking up on a camera. But the shadow comes into play, or the little smoke dust orb kind of thing. Cuts across. Then it pans back and you see him. He's like, what? And then you're going to hear him start talking.
Look at I saw that shit.
Yep.
I saw that shit.
Saw it, man.
See, I saw that shit.
Now, and again, so another thing that when we look at kind of videos, whether they're real or they're not, I'm looking for reactions. Okay, so one, this is a security camera. And I think I talked about this when LaRocco was on Declassified at one point. I said, the more simple a haunting video is, the more real I think it is because, like I said, hauntings aren't going to necessarily be like what you see from The Conjuring. It's going to be more times something like this, where a shadow right here, it kind of shows up. Now you see it go across the camera. And I would say barely shadow, more of a mist. And you see the security guard, and now he's reacting.
Look at I saw that shit. I saw that shit.
Enough to the point where he went back and he's like, I got to see the tape on this. Like, I got to actually go back and kind of look at this.
See, I saw that shit. And I'm like, and then it disappeared over there by the desk. And I'm like, okay. So I looked at the camera. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to calm down. So I wanted to tell the camera, y'all see that shit? Y'all saw that shit, right?
Oh, I didn't even notice this. Okay, yeah. So this is where I was looking down at my phone for a second. So he actually points over to where he saw it, like for the camera to acknowledge. All right, I like that. That brings a little bit more credibility to this when I'm kind of looking at a video. So
I'm telling CHA, did y'all see that? Okay.
And now they added some kind of music, which I'm not a huge fan of. But they did slow it down, which I do appreciate that. So they see something right here. We don't know what it is. And I wish I kind of knew what this building was as well too. Like if it was a hospital or something like that, that could be, right? Energy, could be a spirit, could be inhuman, could be human. We don't know. But at this point, I would say this is more of an energy than anything else. It's going kind of across. The dude saw it, and kind of good for him for not freaking out. So a lot of people, they kind of see things like this and then they just immediately freak out and they think it's the end of the world. Now, there's another thing. So if anyone has kind of watched the Declassified, not this podcast per se, but the actual series where, I will travel around and I will go investigate places or treasure hunt or whatever. When I went and kind of did a ghost hunt, the only paranormal episode I did on that series, we caught a lot of EVPs, so electronic voice phenomena. It's basically things that are audio. So you don't hear them out loud necessarily, but anything technologically, kind of components like a recorder could pick up an EVP. This is a Ring doorbell. So the lady actually called the cops because on her doorbell, she heard someone say, "Help me," or something like that. And then the cops showed up, and even the cops are like, "Oh man, yeah, that really sounds like someone." So here's that clip. I want to play it for you.
Anybody out on the road or any cars or anything. So I went back to my Ring video to make sure I wasn't just creatively hearing something.
Now that was the cop's walkie-talkie. He turned it down, so you saw him turn it down, and now you're going to hear her play back the video that the Ring camera captured. I wish they'd turn their radios off.
I can hear somebody saying something like that.
Well, I posted it on there.
Okay, so here we go. Oh man, that one slightly gives me chills. I guess I don't need to be full screen on this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to boost the audio on your end. Now this is the original audio like that the doorbell captured. I'm going to turn it up. You're going to hear a female voice. Now, there's no neighbors here or anything like that. It's a female voice, and it sounds like it's kind of in agony or in pain. It's very much moaning is the way that I would say it. Right here. I'm going to go back a little bit one more time. So again, I'm hearing at some point, it's like, please, 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 please help me. Something along those lines is what I'm hearing. Definitely female. And it like, I don't know. It sounds like it's in distress. Now there's some parts towards the end of that I can't really understand. It just starts to get into a little bit of mumbling, but again, check this out one more time. And then I think a couple other things that we need to point out too is initially when this video starts, she's just going towards her door. To the point where she actually stops and then kind of looks around, and I think that's very important too when we look at these videos. There's acknowledgement, okay? And this is a Ring doorbell. Again, 100% ghost, I don't know. I can't tell you that, but I'm leaning towards the more real side of things, okay? Now, I think the other thing too is an EVP, you might not necessarily hear outside of kind of what you're doing, as far as it would just be recorded. You go back and you listen, and then you end up capturing a voice. This, little different. So this is a disembodied voice because now she's actually hearing it in real time without any kind of audio equipment, which kind of brings it to another level. Not necessarily scary or evil, just a different level. Different type of ghost or haunting. And I mean, the more I'm hearing it, it's kind of sounding like it's saying, "Please help me go." Go where, I don't know, and I might even be wrong in my decipher of that. It's a creepy one, for sure. And then she kind of goes into the house and kind of continues on her day. But I don't know. So as far as some of the kind of things out there, as far as evidence, I'm leaning more towards on the real for this one. I'm just listening right now. So again, I don't know where everyone stands on this. So it's a heavily debated thing. A lot of the things we talk about in this series is heavily debated. So one thing I do want to say before we kind of go any further on this, if anyone does want to show support, it's greatly appreciated. We got a couple things going on. You can either donate down below in the link. So now that's just if you're watching live. Everyone else, this is normally a Patreon exclusive. What that means is during the Patreon, and I'm not going to lie to you, I did save a lot of the better and best videos for the Patreon. So take a look. There's 3 different tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Not going to lie to you, we're probably going to be revamping that and kind of reworking some things. There's been some changes. But for the time being, what I want you to kind of do is just go take a look at the Patreon. The Declassified podcast is normally an hour long, and we deep dive on some of the more intense videos that we can't show on some of these platforms right now. Not gruesome and not scary, and actually we really don't even swear. So it's just scarier, more real kind of. We'll dive into potentially demonic footage, things like that of scarier hauntings on the Patreon. So go check it out. If it's something you want to take a look at, I would greatly appreciate it. In the meantime, let's get to our last video that I have for you here. This last video is of a streamer, coincidentally. This streamer I have paused on a really weird spot. I didn't try to do that, but that's kind of where he is right now. Okay, so this streamer was not ghost hunting in any way, and this is happening more and more. So I think part of the reason, and one thing people really need to realize, is that now that everyone's got a phone, everyone's got a camera, there's cameras on stoplights, there's literally cameras everywhere. This is a time now where it's a lot easier to capture things, and a lot of times the things and the footage that is being captured is happening from people that aren't really trying to capture anything, right? So this is a streamer. He's just streaming. I couldn't tell you if it's on Twitch, if it's on something else. That I don't really know. But this guy is streaming and some stuff starts to happen. Now, I do believe it either starts with the door that's behind him or it starts with the box that's right behind him. But check it out. I'm going to go full screen. We're going to break it down. Whoops. Shameless plugs. And we're going to deep dive on it. So here's this. Let's take a look.
Yeah, that was the tragic story of my my bringing down of my dearest Lydia.
Okay. I think he was joking about a ghost. Okay, I think I remember. So he was joking about a ghost, and now you're going to see this door in the back, kind of right behind him, start to open up. I really wish they didn't zoom in on it. I wish they would have left it intact, but I promise you, all they did was zoom in on a screen that they already took. Here it is.
But yeah, that was the tragic story of my my bringing down of my dearest Lydia.
Oh my! Okay, I gotta pause for a minute. That one made me laugh a little bit. All right, so when we're taking a look at this, I always say that I look for reactions, right? This seems to me like a very genuine reaction. His headphones fly off. It doesn't seem like he was expecting it. The door kind of opens up, and then all of a sudden it just slams shut.
Lydia.
Oh my! Okay, and he's there now. Now he's sitting in silence, probably scared.
The fuck was that?
Now the lights are going on and off. Okay, so at this point, I'm looking at this, and I really think this is genuine. I don't think this guy could even fake this. Just trying to do his own thing. Door slammed shut. Now you have a light on in the back, so it's starting to pick up a little bit. One thing you need to realize is if you're in a house and it's haunted like this, some of these types of haunts will feed off of that energy. So if you're putting out a negative energy, and sometimes you'll hear it if someone argues in a house a lot for days on end, it could kick up activity, negative activity. Versus like, so if this kid's now starting to get scared, you could be picking up more of the energy that is really just trying to play a joke, like a prankster, so to speak, just trying to scare him. But it continues.
Come, Elvis. Elvis, let go of my headphones.
So he's looking around, goes to the back, and I do believe he turns the light off. Sits back down, and the light goes right back on.
Dude, the light, you just turned it off and it went back on?
And now he's... And now he's looking. I do give him props, though, for getting up and kind of going and checking some of this stuff out. Not a lot of people would do that. Okay. Oh, and he's there, and the door opens up on him. Again, I give him so much props for actually going and looking at some of this stuff. I don't remember if the door slams here or not, but he's looking back at his stream like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening here. And now, again, when we're looking at this, it looks genuine. Like, I would never argue that that wasn't a genuine reaction. Again, major props for going and looking at this. So the flip side, now put yourself in this kid's shoes, all right? This happens in your house exactly like you've seen it play out right now. Listeners, I'm talking to you right now. Are you going to go and open that door after it's slammed on you twice and lights are going on and off on their own, right? Most people are going to say no. Actually, a lot of people will freak out as soon as the light turns on by itself. Right now, as someone who actually goes out and would look for ghosts, I'm not seeing anything scary or harmful, which is why I'm not scared. Right now, he's doing the right thing, because if he goes and opens that door, there's a good 99% chance nothing's going to be there. So again, major props, because not a lot of people would go that extent.
Same.
Like how much?
It's not like we needed, guys. It's not like we needed any sleep or anything.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Fuck this.
All right, let me break this down for you. It got a little bit loud right there, at least in my headphones. Okay, so the kid, so he kind of goes. Now he's going to sit back down on the couch after he opens the door, closes the door. Behind him is this box that I kind of referenced at the beginning of the video, and this is going to move on its own. Now, when it moves, he starts to notice it, because like right now I'm streaming, and I can actually see my own face. Okay? So when you're streaming, you can kind of see what's going on. I can see what's behind me. Like I can see that microphone. I can see the pictures just looking at I can see behind me. So he's looking at his stream, and the box starts to move, and you see his face start to react and kind of change based on what he's looking at.
It's not like we needed, guys. It's not like we needed any sleep.
Right there. Genuine. Now, he could be the best actor in the world. If he is, give this kid a Grammy or whatever. Whatever. Just a little whatever. But I don't think he's acting right now is the point I'm trying to make. So the box, it starts to move on his own.
It's not like we needed.
And to be clear, that talking you're hearing is whoever he's playing the game with.
Guys, it's not like we needed any sleep or anything.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Fuck this. Fuck this.
What the heck?
Now there's certain people on his game chat laughing at him. The chat's been going crazy the whole time. I'm looking at his screen. This seems genuine to me. Okay. Again, we could recreate a lot of this, but what I'm looking at right now is purely reaction, and I'm looking at the type of activity. This 100% could be poltergeist. Now, when I say poltergeist, don't think horror movies like you guys are normally used to. I'm thinking just prankster. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Potentially intelligent, can interact, like it's aware that we're here, and it just wants that communication. It wants some kind of acknowledgement. Now, whether that comes out of fear or just someone talking to it, that's what it's looking for.
Did you guys see that? I like how we're back to playing Skyrim, like, alright.
I'm not gonna fucking...
It's like...
I'm fuck it, you know.
Door opens up
I'm
again.
gonna focus on the raid, man. Do you feel
All my
cold? I'm
viewers-
shivering.
This time, so what you're looking at here is this time the door opens slow and closed slow. Now, this is a different clip because if you notice, the box has gone from the background.
A lot. Does that count for anything?
Fucking. You're. I think we're all shivering a little bit.
They kind of are, yeah. No, God, not again.
Dishonored Trail.
Okay, now here, I'm going to talk about another thing. The reason I also think that this is a genuine clip is he's not even scared anymore. Which, again, props to this dude. Like, I would put him on my ghost hunting team any day. Not even scared anymore. And this is kind of how I get. Like, and I've always joked about this. I'm like, if my house is ever haunted and all of the cabinets kind of open up, I'm not going to be pissed. Well, okay, sorry. Correction. I'm going to be pissed because I'm going to have to go and close all the cabinets. Or like if I go in the kitchen and everything's all thrown around, I'm going to be pissed because I have to pick it up. But I'm not pissed because of a door slamming. And he's getting to that point where he's used to this haunting and this kind of thing taking place to where now he's just like, come on, again, really? I'm trying to stream, trying to play a game, being a dick, Ghost.
I don't give a shit about Dishonored 2 right now.
It just did it again.
There's Elvis running in the fucking corner again. Are you fucking done? Are you fucking done? Fucking.
Okay, now another thing I want to break down. I have literally said this before. Okay, so I grew up in a haunted house, and there was one time where there was so I had. Let's pretend I'm sitting at my computer right now, which I am, but like as a kid. So to the left of me, maybe about 20 feet, give or take, there was our kitchen sink growing up, and I was just playing computer, whatever, very similar to what this kid is doing actually, and the water started running out of the faucet. I looked over, I got up, I went over and I kind of lifted the faucet up, put the faucet down. The water just still kept running, like full blast running. So I went back to the computer, I sat down, and I did exactly what this kid did, minus the swearing. I looked over at the faucet, I said, whenever you're done, turn the water off, and then instantly the water shut off. So it was the same kind of thing. He's to the point where he's used to it. Now it's more of a nuisance to him. That's a little scary, though.
Is he touching the door?
I hope to God he is.
I think he
We're
just
about to
ticked
find out in a
off
few
him.
seconds.
No, okay.
What the fuck?
Again, props to this kid, though. Like, he walked in like, oh, nothing.
And so I was just gonna chill here over the night. He was cool with it. He set me up for the Wi-Fi thing. And then the ghost is like, knock, knock, motherfucker. We're still here up in this bitch.
I like this kid more when I didn't hear him talk. But that's okay. Again, so it started off with just an initial, door opening and closing. We saw a box fly off a table.
Is he touching the door?
Now the kid goes
I
over.
hope to God he is.
I think he
We're
just
about to
ticked
find out in a
off
few
him.
seconds.
No, okay.
What the
Oh, wait, let me-
Yeah.
Dishonored trailer. I
Okay,
don't
here
give
we
a
go.
shit about
This-
Dishonored 2 right now.
This is what I was looking for.
It just did it again.
There's Elvis running in the fucking corner again.
Okay.
Are you fucking done? Are you
See
fucking
that?
done?
That's what I did with the water coming out of the faucet.
Is he
Nuts.
touching the door?
I hope to God he is.
I think he
We're
just
about to
ticked
find out in a
off
few
him.
seconds.
No, okay.
What the fuck?
At this point, I think the people that are on the chat are kind of more freaked out than this kid is at this point.
And so I was just gonna chill here over the night. He was cool with it. He set me up for the Wi-Fi thing. And then the ghost is like, knock, knock, motherfucker. We're still here up in this bitch.
Yeah, I don't like that. I get it, man. He's streaming. At least he has a personality, but I don't like that.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I don't know if anything else happens. I'm gonna let it kind of run through now, and I guess we're gonna learn together. So here's some knocking.
Like I said, I don't think you should go fucking door.
No.
Oh shit. Okay, so like I had actually never really watched this far into the clip, but I guess that sounded straight up like silverware. I probably said that
God.
wrong. I feel like I said that wrong.
Right. Fuck.
There's the box, guys.
Or did it throw the box?
Did the box move on the ground?
Oh shit, shadow person? Give me a shadow person. No?
I guess one last final look at the apartment. Like, hey, what's up? I just want to let everyone know that I'm alright, I guess.
I don't know. That's pretty much the end of the clip. I saw the beginning activity, and that's really what kind of made me want to share this. Again, I'm looking for all ends of the spectrum, right? So at the beginning, we watched a video about a unicorn. My question was, what do you guys think about unicorns? If you missed it, go back to the beginning of the stream where I showed footage of potentially a real unicorn. I'll let you guys be the judge. We talked about dinosaurs. I showed you some ghost footage, and it's kind of all there.
So, oh, cool. All right.
Oh, chair move. I don't know if you guys caught that real quick, but a chair actually just went sliding right in front of him. Take a look at this. I'll go full screen on this one for you guys.
So, oh, cool. All right.
See, and he's like, "Yep, okay, yep, I'm out. All right, later, guys." And he just kind of pieces out the door. So, I don't know. Good stuff. Okay. But that was kind of really the majority of the videos that I had for you. Just keep in mind that this is normally a Patreon exclusive. So that being said, if you really kind of enjoy seeing some of these paranormal videos, now keep in mind, like I said, I keep the best ones for all of the Patreon subscribers. That last one, we always try to end with the best clip at the end of every episode of this. I think that was the best clip out of all of the clips that I showed you tonight. But if you want to catch up, I've shown footage of mermaids. I showed footage of the Wendigo. I've shown ghosts. I've shown ghost brides. There's a lot of footage that's on the Patreon right now. If you guys want to go and take a look at those videos, click the links down below, subscribe to the Patreon. All of that kind of goes to producing more shows for you. And then this was kind of just a free trial, throwing it out there, seeing what we get when we do a live stream version. And anyone who kind of checked in, I saw you guys throughout the time. Anyone who typed in the chat, we appreciate it. And really, if you have any videos that you want to submit, I would love to see them as well. And we'll get them on here too, because I love looking at videos. We're looking for the truth. So we'll talk about possibilities on what things really could be, kind of what they might not be, and we'll talk about it. So I have an open mind. So send clips my way. And other than that, we will see you next time on After Hour Comedy Declassified.